Hey everyone, I hope you're all having a wonderful day. I am so excited to sit down and do a get ready with me with you. I have a whole bunch of new things from e.l.f, Essence, and Covergirl. I feel like the drugstore drops have been really good and I have not been keeping up, but I have a few to share with you. If there's anything in particular that you think I should try that has been recently released, please leave it down in the comments. Let's start with the very first thing. So I did pick up the new Essence foundation stick. I know this has already been getting a lot of attention, but when I heard that Essence released a foundation stick, I was interested because one of my favorite foundations ever was from Essence, crazily enough. It was called the Pretty Natural Foundation. So I feel like they can do foundation. So this is just called the foundation stick, and I have the shade 50. So I have been testing this out already for a couple of weeks, and I must tell you, I've actually been very surprised. It's quite emollient, like more emollient than say the Merit. Speaking of Merit, I'm gonna use the Merit brush to blend it out, but it is so easy to blend. Like you can see, it might be a tiny bit light for me, but I feel like that when I blend it out, it looks pretty good. There, all blended out. See, like when I first applied it, it looked too light, and now it matches my neck pretty good. Sometimes I don't think I realize how pale I truly am. I don't have a new drugstore concealer, or actually any concealer, so I'm just gonna use my tried and true favorite. This is from Neutrogena. And it has that same super spreadable texture, actually, as the foundation. So I figured they would look nice together. I have the shade Fair 10. It actually is a little bit darker, tiny bit darker than the foundation. So I probably could buy a slightly lighter version of this one next time, but I think that blended out, you can't really tell. Same thing for eyebrows. I'm just gonna quick cruise through this. I don't have anything new. I'm gonna use this one from Covergirl. This is the Clean Fresh Brow, the Nano pencil. I'm using the shade 500 medium brown. By the way, if you're looking for a tiny nano pencil, this one is really tiny. Just be aware that it is incredibly easy to break. I feel like I didn't use a lot of pressure and I've already broken this a couple of times. So going in gently, first to brush and then to gently fill in. I don't like to fill in too much. I mostly just keep it to the tail. All right, for bronzer, I'm gonna continue to use this new one from Covergirl. Covergirl is one of the brands that's been really dropping a lot of new things lately. I'm going to use this fluffy Real Techniques brush. This is the 091, and the bronzer shade I have is 300 Honey Bun. This bronzer is nice and sheer. The shade is, I wouldn't say it's orange, but it is warm. I mean, it's a true bronzer, but I like that it's buildable. There, I feel like you can see it on my skin, but it's not looking crazy, which I appreciate. The truth is that I just don't tan naturally, so if I use a lot of bronzer, I look really kind of crazy, I feel. So I tend to keep it pretty natural. I even used a little bit more just now than I usually do. See how nice that looks? It has a very nice natural skin-like finish to it, like glowy in the best way, not sparkly. Okay, finally we get to one of the newer things. So here's another launch from Covergirl. This is the Jelly Water Tint. I saw this at Ulta. I'm actually not sure when this dropped. I somehow missed it. It's probably been out for a little while and I just didn't see. But this is a lip and cheek product, and I have the shade 40 Jelly Nude. Now when I first swatched this, I actually thought it was pretty sheer, but I tested it, I think it was yesterday, and I felt like it had more pigment than I was expecting. See what I mean? Like it doesn't just completely sheer out right away. That's actually decently pigmented. It's a pretty like bright color. The formula is like it's pretty gel-like, I would say. Interestingly, it says on it made in Korea. That's just something I've been noticing lately. I don't know if it's just been a thing and I haven't been paying attention, or if it is a new thing, that brands are going to Korea. Because honestly, it does feel a little bit like a K-beauty product with that gel kind of watery texture. Ooh, again, I got a bit much. I just wanted it to match the other side, but I might actually bring it across the nose to make it look a little bit more natural for a very blushy look. Yeah, it's definitely a bit more than I was going for today. I'm gonna let that settle in, and if it doesn't calm down a little bit, I might have to go in with some powder. But for now, let's move on. Oh wait, no, I wanted to try this on my lips. It is a lip and cheek product. Let's test it. Quite a bit comes out on the doe foot. It's a bigger doe foot. Holy cow, yeah. Oh, that was a lot. On the lips, the interesting texture is much more noticeable. So even though I was using my finger, which may not have been the best choice, I did feel like it wanted to go outside the lines of my lips. I've been cleaning it up a little bit, and it still looks a little messy. Next time I'll wipe the doe foot off before I try to use it. But the texture, again, I was talking about the texture. It feels pretty slippy, but not oily. Kind of unique actually to my collection, but it's actually a very pretty like face brightening shade, and it's not super glossy, which sometimes it's nice, you know, sometimes you don't want super glossy lips. Well, I am feeling very bright. Let's add some more. e.l.f. came out with a new highlighter. Just looking at that, doesn't that look like the Rare Beauty? I picked up the shade Blush Money. I have been using it a little bit, and look at how kind of gently, there you can see it a little bit more. It's not nearly as blinding as the Rare Beauty one, which could be a good or bad thing depending what you're going for. Because of that, I'm actually going to use a more dense brush than I would usually use, and I'm going to pick up quite a bit. And I'm going to come closer. Hopefully you can see. There. Oh, that's pretty. I think this is looking the nicest that it has looked for me since I've been starting to test it. Oh, I actually did get a little bit much. That is quite intense. Okay, I could have picked up less. All right, so that'll show me. The first time I used this, I actually had trouble getting it to really show up, and I obviously just didn't pick up too much on my, or enough on my brush, whereas today I have the opposite problem. I think the formula is pretty. I don't know if it's my very favorite glow. Sometimes to make a highlighter the best that it can be, it all depends on your brush, and I'm still kind of testing that out. I thought this might be the best one, but now I'm not so sure. In any case, the color is really pretty, and especially from a little bit more of a distance, I think that is beautiful. Up close, it isn't bad, and again, it just may take a little bit of experimentation with brushes. All right, I am feeling very blushy. I'm just gonna take a little bit of finishing powder, and I'm just gonna try and tone that down a little. And I'm not sure that was enough. I might actually have to go in with a little bit of foundation. Tone that down a little bit. But again, I'll leave it alone for now. We'll see how I feel in a minute once I get my eyes done. So new from e.l.f. They released the liquid velvet eyeshadow. I picked up the shade Beige and Boujee. I have been testing this a little bit already, and I have to tell you, I think it's actually quite nice. If you can find a shade that you like, it could even be used as a really good eyeshadow base. Like this one in particular is almost my skin tone. So I'm thinking I might pick up the next deeper brown one. But it doesn't set down right away, so it's very, very easy to work with, and it spreads nicely without becoming patchy. Like so far, I'm actually pretty impressed. Since the very beginning days on my channel, I have always liked these sort of very easy to work with liquid eyeshadows. For a while, I really liked the Rimmel ones. Now I can't find them here. I should probably look online. I wonder if they're even still available. But these ones from e.l.f. are very comparable, at least this shade that I've tried. And I was a little scared to try this because a while back, e.l.f. released a potted cream shadow that everyone else seemed to love, but I really hated. And so I was a little scared about this one, but I have to tell you, I think it's really good. And I'm probably gonna pick up another shade to test since this one is so close to my skin. But since it is so close, it is kind of just like a nice everyday color. And since I'm wearing such bright blush, I probably don't wanna do too much with my eyes. So the mascara I've been testing is from Maybelline. This is not new. This has been out for a while. This is the Falsies Surreal mascara. This is one of those mascaras that has quite a fluffy wand. So I am a little bit more careful with this one, not stab myself in the eye. And the first week I had it open, I really didn't like it. I felt like it didn't do much for me, but now that I've been using it a little bit more, it is getting better, and it is buildable. You can work with it to get it to your desired level of drama, which I actually do like that quality in a mascara. I don't like when you first apply a mascara and it's instant volume, because a lot of times those are very difficult to control. I prefer them to build slowly. Again, this mascara is proving it just gets better and better the longer it's open. I think that's really pretty, like fluttery lashes. I actually picked this one up because of my friend, so I was so disappointed when I first tried it and I didn't like it because I know she loved it so much, but now I'm beginning to see the appeal. I need to do some more testing for the wear time, but I think it looks really pretty. Nice, pretty, fluttery lashes. I'm not really a fan of how they kind of look funny in my bottom lashes on this eye. But it is dry now, and it's one of those mascaras that is a little bit more crunchy, so I don't really want to mess with it anymore. But yeah, it looks a little funny, doesn't it? Or even though I said I wasn't gonna mess with it, I kind of did. Trying to separate those. It still looks a little funny, but it's gonna have to be that way for now. Okay, now that I have some eye makeup on, my blush doesn't look quite so crazy. And I actually really like the matching blush and lip. Like if you can have a multitasking product that you like on both your cheeks and your lips, I think that's great. And this is actually one of the better ones. I've been trying a few of these lately. Sometimes it's usually one or the other. I like it on my cheeks, but not my lips, or vice versa. I actually really like it both ways. All right, wrapping up my thoughts for these products, I think the foundation's really nice. It looks very like natural finish. Although it is way more emollient than I was expecting. I have a feeling that someone with very oily skin might find this to be a bit too much. But so far it's been wearing really well for me. I think it's so cool. Essence came out with a stick foundation. Now if they would only keep it available and quit discontinuing things, that would be great. The highlighter, I'm coming around to it. Today is the most that I've liked it since I've been trying it a few times. I think it's meant to be more subtle, but obviously it can be built up like I have it. But I do like the color. Like I said, I'm liking this on both my lips and my cheeks, and I like the feeling of it on my lips. It's thin and slippy, but it does seem to have a little bit of a staining quality as well. It also has not faded on my cheeks, which I was kind of expecting it to, like some liquid blushes can, and it hasn't. Which again makes me feel like it has some staining quality. I like the eyeshadow. I like it a lot. Zero indication of creasing. Incredibly easy to blend out. See this being a very handy little product. And despite this one spot on my bottom lashes, I'm liking the mascara today as well. If you've tried any of these, please let us all know down in the comments. Please let us know your thoughts. Thank you for watching all the way to the end of this video. This is always where I share my tea of the day, and today I am drinking chai. I like the one from Tazo if I'm just gonna be drinking a tea bag like this, because the one from Tazo doesn't like have added sugar. It will if you buy the concentrate, but if you're just drinking it straight, I like how it's more spicy. Thank you so much for joining me. I'll see you again very soon in the next one. Bye.